Hi, welcome to another video by Information First featuring Content Manager 9.2. Actually, this is the first video of a new series we're going to start for everyone. It's going to feature an aspect or a new feature of Content Manager 9.2. There's been a lot of changes in the product as far back as 6 to 7 to 8, and now we're looking at Content Manager 9.2 is out there. So we are going to do videos that feature I'm using the word feature a lot. We're going to do videos that focus on one particular feature of Content Manager. Today's topic is going to be the rendering module. So that is the ability to right click and request different renditions of a record, and those different renditions can be either in TIFF format for redacting, could be in a PDF-A format for long-term storage, or even an OCR layer. So we'll try and give an example of each of these. Since this is the first video in a new series, I ask you to subscribe so you can stay current when these videos come out. And more importantly, in the comments, feel free to post some other aspects of the program you'd like featured in a future video. We'd be happy to put them together, give you guys a little bit of a deep demonstration on exactly how the module works, especially if it's one you have and you don't really know how it works, or possibly one you're considering to buy. So let's get to it. Let's get started. As I said, this one is going to feature the OCR. So what I'm going to do is work with a bunch of different files. We're going to bring them in there and show you how we can turn basically a scanned image into a searchable document using the document content engine. Whoop. Oh, you heard that ding. Okay, so what is a rendition? What kind of a rendition do we typically need? So a rendition these are the options when you do the right-click electronic rendition. You'll see one that says a rendition that can be redacted. Typically that is going to be in the TIFF format. You would then take that rendition, possibly export it into another software, and start inserting your black dots to hide the truth. I was going to get political there, but I won't. But you can see you can black stuff out as we see in the example. Another rendition you might request is an OCR rendition. So that would be one where you have a scanned document and it is scanned text, so therefore it's not searchable. It doesn't have that searchable text layer. So we want to take that document, send it through the OCR engine, and have it try to extract as much text as we can. And with that, you're actually going to see that it has a confidence interval. So we'll take a look at that number as well. And finally, you might request a rendition that is suitable for long-term preservation. By current standards, that's generally a PDF or a PDF-A. So we'll look at how we get each of those ones created in the tool. What is optical character recognition, or OCR? That's basically the ability for a system or software to pull out and try to make meaningful sense of scanned images. Now, ideally, those scanned images are text, and the OCR is trying to read them and make sense of them and turn them into searchable text layers. So that's very handy if you have a lot of PDFs from the past that might not have had that scanned text layer. It's a good opportunity to put back, makes those documents full text searchable. You may get documents that have been scanned from and emailed to you that aren't text searchable, so that's another reason why you might want to do that. And then you can see, as I said earlier, there is the ability to see the confidence score, and we'll show you where that can be found in the program. Okay, the last thing, how do we access the different renditions? I'm going to do this live in a few moments, but just so you know, you're going to right click on a particular record, go down to the electronic option, and in there you're going to request a rendition. Depending on what's available, whether it already may be a TIFF format, so you're not going to necessarily have that option. It could also already be a PDF format, so you're not going to have that one. So we'll look at each of these three, and we'll watch a document go through its life cycle so that it becomes searchable. All right, let's let that video begin, and therefore let's go over to our overlay screen where I have things already set up for you. So again, I got to give a little shout out. This is part of the free licensing agreement on the internet. I got to give a little shout out for Ben Sound, and that's the happy music in the background. Okay, so what do I got for us here in the background? I have a JPEG file that I've already scanned in. It's called D animals. So basically it's a list of animals that begin with the letter D. So unfortunately for all the Australians who might be watching, I didn't capture the dugongs, but I do have some interesting words like dolphin, desert. Is that desert or desert? You only want to cross one desert, so it's got to be desert, deer, etc. So I'm just going to do a search on these words, dolphin, deer, and desert, I guess, to show you that I don't have them in here. So let's try dolphin. Oops, it's not typing. Let me try that one more time. These recordings are right to recording. So there, I've done a search for dolphin and I'm not finding that word. I'm going to push my luck and try deer. Oh, I did find a deer. Well, that's also in the bee animals. You can see I was doing some practicing there. So that's okay. So we know deer is in there. What was another one we had in there? Dolphin's good enough. We did that search and we didn't find it, so I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay, I'm just going to close off these two windows. And let's see how we're going to bring in this TIFF. So right now, this document is not searchable. I'm going to bring it into my content manager as a editable document. Here it comes. D animals, and I'll put this in my folder I created today, some demonstration stuff, and we'll click OK. So we'll let that come through, and sure enough, we've got our D animals. So we can go over here and look at our standard properties. We can look at our notes, and we can look at a preview of the particular document. So when I click on that, sure enough, you can see we've got a savanna deer. We've got a defasa. We got some different words in here. I was looking for some other, a Tasmanian devil. That's pretty close to Australia, guys. So at least I got some Australian animal in there. Oh my God, there's a dingo. Dingo ate my baby. I shouldn't really say that. Anyways, so we do got some words here, dolphin, and again, let's just see if they've been indexed. So let me try dingo. No content. So what I'm trying to show you here right now is this document is not searchable by document content. I could come in here and try my D animals. See if we can find it. B, C. So it hasn't quite been indexed by Content Manager yet, which is okay. We'll give it some time to be indexed and we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, let's go back to that particular document that I created, or I dragged and dropped, the D animals. I'm going to put this on the properties view, and let's start doing our electronic renditions. So the first thing I'm going to do is right click on that, go down to electronic, over to request rendition, and here we have all the options available to us. We have, it is suggesting right now we submit this to be one that can be redacted, even though I did bring in a JPEG, so we can flip that over to TIFF. We can flip this over to an OCR, and we can do a PDFA. Let's do them one at a time so we can kind of see what happens. So I'm going to select one that can be redacted, click OK, and that's just going to go off into the processor and get processed. It will take a few minutes, few seconds, depending on the speed of your system, and then eventually what will happen on the right-click properties of that particular record, there is a rendition tab, and voila, it will show up as a redactable version. So there's the one and first rendition that I was able to create. Now let's do another one. We'll right-click on that one. I probably should have done my text layer first to give idle a chance to index it. So let's jump down there and do the OCR text layer right now. I'm going to go to request rendition. This time I'm going to see, first, before I do that, you can notice here it already tells me that I have that rendition done. So let's move down to the OCR, click OK, and at this point in time, let's just go to the full screen so we get a better view of what's happening. Okay, so we've done that, and I've requested it. Now this is where I could juggle and entertain you for a little bit, but let's just jump in there, and it won't happen super quick. It does take a little bit extra time to get that rendition for us, although I was tweaking my event processor and I'm making it run a lot more faster. Is that right? A lot faster than it was out of the box. So here we go. We've already got the auto-rendered OCR text, which is great, and that is one that hopefully will become searchable. So I'm giving it a little bit of time because the next step with that one would be to send it off into the idle engine or your other content indexing tool and have it indexed. One more time, right-click electronic, request rendition. I'm going to make this one a long-term preservation, which is the PDF. Click OK, and that should work. Now, what I'm also going to do, just to speed this along, because this demonstration is live to record, I just don't want to waste any more time. I'm going to do an administrative override and get this off to the re-indexing queue right away. I really want to get that text searchable because that's what it's going to be from in terms of the renditions. All right, now what's happening down here in the properties and previews that we can look at. So on the preview, I can see kind of that scanned image that it is. It is a JPEG. It looks like a JPEG. You can almost see the paper in there as I scroll down through. Maybe not on the web page. Now, of course, I have no previous copies, and now I can click on rendition, and I can look at this. And it's coming in. Scroll it over a little bit. There it is. So there is the rendition, and this is probably viewing for me the PDF rendition. But if I wanted to see some of those other renditions that I generated, let's go take a look at those. So I'm going to right-click on that record one more time. How many times can I say right-click in a video that deals with Content Manager? Who's keeping track? Right-click properties. I said it again. Renditions. And here we go. Now, let me just see if I can open up this window a little bit larger for everyone, so we can take a look at exactly what's happening and some of the interesting things. First off, I wanted to point out here's the OCR confidence index that they were talking about in the opening video there. This is how confident it is it found all those words, which is great. Here's my auto rendition, which is the PDF, and here's my auto rendition, which is redactable. Now you can click on these ones. You can right click, set it again on one of these ones and go to view, and it will actually open up into Adobe. Now again, could I come in here and do an Adobe search? Where is the Adobe search? Here it is. Let me just see if I can search for the word dolphin. And of course, Adobe Reader cannot find it. So that is because there is no text layer in this particular document. So it's not in here. That's why we can't search it for text. However, we did do that OCR. So let me close these two down. Let me right click on here. Now this is an interesting view. What this is going to do, it's going to show you the Q info or the extracted text here. We've got some kind of behind the scenes stuff, but if you scroll down, there is its interpretation of those words that have been extracted from the document, and of course there's a closing tag on that. So that is an idea of what it is, and it is this layer that is being searchable when you do your content search. I've waited long enough, I've kind of stalled. Let's go in there now and see if we can do a dolphin search. Hit the word dolphin. It still hasn't come up. Did I spell it right? Probably. Give it a few more seconds for the idle engine to process that record, which is okay, and which is what happens when we work live sometimes. I'm going to keep that open, and while I'm here, I'm going to talk a little bit about redactions. Now, we do talk about the electronic rendition being in a redactable format, but let's see what else Content Manager has up its sleeves when it comes to that. Let's look at some things I've registered today. Here we go. You can see I've been testing this, playing with this. I got a couple of B animals, C animals, and D animals. As a matter of fact, if I come in here and do a cheetah search, you will find, oh, of course I can't do a word search on a date. It should have known what I wanted to do. Wouldn't that be nice? Let me go in here and type the word cheetah. A-H. And you see, oop. Guess I haven't indexed that one either. I gotta wait for this one. Again, I'm getting off script. Let me get back focused. What I wanted to show you was, again, back to the date registered today. Gonna go in here. Now I have some of these ones that I put in earlier, and I wanted to just remind everybody that inside of Content Manager, we already had the ability to create a right-click new redaction of a record. So this is going to be a little bit different. This is actually enabling you to create the redaction. When you do the electronic rendering, what it's allowing you to do is to generate that file in TIFF format, which is then suitable for redaction. So other feature in the product, on the right click, new redaction, it's going to come off in here, and now I'm in kind of a redaction window, and I have the selection. So let's just say I want to redact out these words here, and maybe you cannot do anything easily in Content Manager. I'm just kidding. You can do a lot of things easily, and I can do a couple of things. So now I'm doing my redactions like this. These are the words that I don't want people to see, and I'm pretty good with that. So what I can do now is save it as a PDF. It's telling me that once I do this, I will no longer be able to edit. That is okay. Click OK, and it comes in there, and lo and behold, it creates a new record for me. So this record, if I go and take a look at the preview, you can see there's the document, and I'm going to scroll down very slowly. If I had a drum roll sound effect, there we go. Now we have a new record in Content Manager with the redaction in there, and it's already been blacked out. So now this record is permanently redacted, and people can't see what's behind those redactions because it's blocked. However, let me go back to my properties, or what I could do is I could go right click and do a little bit of a fancy navigation to redacted from, or I could even go to the related records because they are kind of related. I'm going to go over to the redacted from, and that's going to take me back to my main document that I edited, and lo and behold, if I go to the preview, I can see it. So again, there we go. I can see what that looks like. If I look to the rendition tag, this document, and now notice, I can't really zoom out, but notice here, this is what we call a transparent copy. So this rendition view of that record shows the user the redacted words and where they are in the redaction, versus the preview, which does not show the redaction. So here with the rendition, I can actually see, if I was the administrator and had sufficient rights on the record, I can actually see where all the redactions were applied, and more importantly, I can see what's behind those redactions. So that is the long story on redaction in and of itself, and also a little overview of the right-click various renditions. Now, the last thing that we could potentially do with this is have this happen all automatically, so that when I drag and drop a PDF or a JPEG or a TIFF document, it automatically goes and gets that extraction of the OCR layer that we want. And that's kind of a cool feature as well, is to make that automated, so that if any of your users drag and drop those file types, JPEG, TIFF, PDF, etc., it will automatically be sent to the OCR engine for indexing. Now, before I go, I did promise you a document content search for the word dolphin, and oh man, I hope this comes up, because if it doesn't work, it's a long video. Still doesn't come up. I gotta figure out why my indexing isn't going. Let me just try that one more time. It should be there by now, but I'll do a date registered for today. I'll have to speed this one along. D animals here. Right click. Administrative tools. Let's get that to the re-index. One more time. I'm forcing it through. Not that that's gonna happen anytime faster than normal, but I don't want to waste this video or waste your time watching this video any much longer. Worst case, what I can do is edit it after I save it, throw in the search working, and show you how it does. But let me try one more time, please. Fingers crossed. There we go. It worked. So did the indexing, and with my idle running in the background, it may have been ready or may have been not. But now remember, when I first did that dolphin search, I could not find it. It has gone through all of the work, and now I can go down here and preview this document, which does in fact have the word dolphin in it. A couple of scrolls down, and there it is. I wonder if it found my dingo. It did. Haha, there we go. Anyways, that's what I wanted to show with you today, was this ability to use the electronic rendition feature of Content Manager 9. And for all of you who are already familiar with the new redaction feature of Content Manager, that was just an overview. So coming up, please subscribe. Oh, let me go to my end screen. Where is my thing? Here we go. End screen. On the left, you'll see a playlist for recent videos. On the right, you will see the most recent video uploaded. Subscribe button should pop up in the middle, and please subscribe and post in the comments any features you would like us to discuss in a future video. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great, well, I'm doing this on a Friday night, so I was going to say have a great weekend.